Greetings everyone, I'm Lushane Jones and I'll be instructor for this tutorial. So what I want to kind of introduce is Toon Boom Harmony stage. The one I'll be working from in this video is Harmony 12. Currently there's a Harmony 14 and I do have some previous tutorials using Harmony 7.8 going up. So if you have a harmony that might be less than this one, you can always follow some of my previous videos. In this case, I suppose I'll be touching base on some of the principles of animation, as well as, typical startup and some of the tools. So this is just an introduction, how to start up, and we'll just keep the videos somewhat short to go through each tool, just to keep your attention on it. Alright, so here we go. So typically when you start up your Toon Boom Harmony stage, what you do get is this window here, and it does ask you for some information. Now typically the window will ask you for the name of your scene and where you hope to save it. So you have your directory, in this case location, you have the name of the scene, you have your camera size. Typically in previous versions it would show you a list rather than a drop down. So in this case I'm just going to go with 1080p 24. This means I'm going to be working with 1920 by 1080 in dimensions, and my frame rate will be 24 frames per second, as you see here. Alright, now if you're not comfortable with the sizes that are already provided for you, you can always click on the plus that you will see in this window, and you can add your own preset, your own resolution, and choose your own frame rate also. Alright, so just to begin, I'll just call this one intro, and I have chosen my directory already. This shows a list of previous scenes worked on, and I'll just press create scene or hit enter. So this is the interface. I'm not working with a default for Harmony 12, just to kind of ease some who are used to Harmony 9.2 and before, or 10, to this interface. Well, there have been some changes with the interface as to previous versions, but in this case, I guess main thing is just the visualization of some of the information, such as your tool properties, or your different type of arts, your overlay, line art, color art, underlay art. So just to start out basic, this area here that we see is our stage. This is where, when you draw or when you animate, when you export it as a video, this is where the restrictions for the size is. Alright, and you can always check out your scene properties. We click on the scene up top here, and you can see scene settings, and it shows you the information that you have here. In the event that you want to change the size of your resolution, you can always come here and change it to what you feel is okay. So say I go from 1080p to 720p and I press OK. You don't see anything here, but because the resolution are really similar, then we actually get a video when exporting to 1280 by 720. So I'll just take this back to what it was before, HDTV. Now if you want to move your screen around, you just hold on the space bar. This is also similar to the hand tool, which is located on your toolbar over on the left side. And if you hold it down, you'll notice you have some other stuff about your views. So you could call these your view tools. You have your hand where you can drag your screen around. You have your zoom. You can use a shortcut 1 and 2 for the harmony shortcuts. 1 and 2. 1 is to zoom out, 1, and 2 to zoom in. Spacebar to drag. And if you want to rotate your screen, you can hold down Control and Alt, and you'll get what looks like a peg bar. This is what traditional animators used when they were drawing and they wanted to rotate their page, and you can just rotate your screen. So if you're not really good at drawing a circle, and you might know traditionally you'd take your paper and rotate it, you can do that. Now if you want to reset the view, the shortcut is Shift and X. Right, so those are a few of the shortcuts. So your tools are located over here, and I'm going to go through them individually in a different video. You have your other panels over here, and you can bring them up as you go along. You might see a plus beside each set of panel tabs. You can choose your color tab to look for the colors. Currently you're working with a scene palette that is based on the name of your project, and they give you by default a few colors: black, white, red, green, blue, and vectorized line. Down below is your timeline where you work with different layers. Now currently you're normally given one drawing layer, and down here is your timeline, and I'm just going to go through this in another video, which will probably be the next video. But just to start out quickly, for just a short introduction as to how to animate, you take some of your drawing tools, which would be, for example, your brush tool or your pencil tool, and you could just draw yourself a shape, choosing a color over here. Draw yourself a shape, and you'll notice that a new cell pops up in your timeline. This means that you now have a drawing, and as I highlight over, you see it says drawing -1. That is based on the name of the layer and which drawing you've made. So I'll just call this circle, and if I want to go to the next frame, I can just click on it, and right now you're seeing this faded view of my previous frame. Now by default you don't see this, so you have to make sure you click on this, which is called your onion skin tool. It shows you a preview, or you could say a preview, of your previous or your next frames. So whenever it's red, it means it's a previous frame, and if I drew something else like here and I come to the first frame, you'll see the green one, which is the next frame. You can control the range down here. So if you wanted to animate, you could just kind of have fun with it. And a quick shortcut to go through your timeline is your greater than and your less than sign, or your comma and your full stop. So if I want to go along the timeline, I can just press these on a whim, and I can just do a simple little animation. So that's the basics of how to animate. This is kind of traditional method, and there are many other ways you can. You can use your transform tool, you can use deformation and rigging, but this is just the first video, so I hope you kind of learned something, and I'll just play this back just so you can see what's going on. So I've drawn a total of 20 frames now, and so when I play through this, I can go to my play back, I should see something like this, right? And it disappears because I have no more drawings in my timeline. So I'll just choose to stop it at frame 20, start, stop, and I just press play and put the loop on, and so we get something like this. Alright, thanks for watching. Do take care, and I hope you learned something from this.